My name is Dawn Ramirez. I do Defensive Driving Simulator. I do the Beginning Fundamentals Simulator and also on-road training.
My name is Navarre Frank, and I am a Defensive Driving Simulator instructor and also an on-the-road instructor.
My name is Sean. I'm a driving instructor here at Driving MBA. I primarily do defensive driving and on the road.
What happens in the Driving Fundamentals Lab is we get the students in there and we introduce them to the inside of a car, where the pedals are, the indicator lights, the turn signal lever, everything in there. Then we get them in there and we have them drive around. We teach them steering, pedal control. We teach them how to just place their vehicle in the lane and make the turns, the speed on the turns, all the way to avoiding hazards toward the ends of the lesson and driving in weather. In the lab, we have 4 lessons total. Each lesson is 2 hours long. And we start out in just the very, very beginnings. Many of these students have never even sat in the front seat of a car. And some students have already driven. So we take them wherever they are and we go through just how to operate the vehicle, how to control the vehicle. The second lesson, we get them into more complex situations, intersections, right of way, some hazards too. Basically, a lot of rules of the road. Lesson 3, more hazards. What to do if somebody's passing you. How to handle situations where maybe somebody might be coming right at you on the road. Lesson 4, mainly weather, as well as other hazards, but using high beams. How to navigate in the rain, dust storms, snow even, mountains, downshifting. So we cover basically every lesson builds on itself so that by the time they're in the 4th lesson, they've got the rules of the road pretty well. Now they're just navigating through, mainly hazards. The benefits of learning on the simulator is it's a safe environment. They can make all the mistakes they're going to make, and they are going to make mistakes. They can have pedal confusion, among many other mistakes. And by learning on the simulator, they can make those mistakes in a safe environment. There are no consequences. The students that start out in the Driving Fundamentals Lab learn from us right from the beginning. Sometimes when students come in and they've already had a lot of on-road experience and no lab, they tend to pick up bad habits and misinformation from whoever they've been driving with. What I see mainly is stopping position, stopping over the crosswalk, sometimes rolling through their stops, speeding. And so when they come in here, they get the fundamentals, they learn the rules of the road, they practice and apply what they've learned on the road with us.
Simulation is important in the process of driving because it teaches how to build good muscle memory. They're able to work out the kinks, not get, like I said, pedal confusion, work on their steering techniques like shuffle steering rather than hand over hand steering. They're just really able to nail that stuff down in the simulator, rather than being confused and on the road, which can create a very dangerous environment, especially if they're trying to learn how to ingrain those, like I said, muscle memory techniques of shuffle steering, shifting from the brake to the gas, vice versa.
What I've observed as an instructor is a student who's been on a simulator has a solid foundation for getting on the road. They really understand the rules of the road. They understand the basic workings of the vehicle. It's just a matter of adapting, moving from the simulator to a vehicle that actually moves. Students who haven't been on the simulator can sometimes come to us with some gaps in their training. They're missing certain fundamentals that could be rather dangerous if they're not caught early enough.
As an instructor, it's important to me that students go through the beginning simulation. The reason why is they learn how to operate the pedals. It mostly eliminates pedal confusion for the most part. They're solidifying rules of the road. They're learning how to handle the vehicle on turns, how to control their speed. And when we bring them on the road, they have all these down so that we can get them out of the parking lot right away. We can get them into a neighborhood. Many times we can get the students in the neighborhood for 5 or 10 minutes. They're ready to go on a busy street. If they hadn't gone through the Beginning Fundamentals Lab, we would be starting from scratch in the parking lot, going from gas to brake, and it takes up a lot of the lesson that we would not normally have to do if they learned in the Fundamentals Lab and kind of practice solidifying those skills. In the very basic beginning fundamental simulators, we don't touch on the complex situations that they do get into in defensive driving lab. It's very basic. They're still learning rules of the road. They're still they haven't driven yet. They haven't been on the freeway yet. So we can't add the complexity that we do once they get in defensive driving until they've had a certain amount of hours on the road, until they've been on the freeway, until they've seen a little bit more when it comes to the hazards that they're going to see in real life. So in the beginning fundamentals lab, it just touches on weather. It just touches on wrong way drivers. The very basic things, what are you going to do if you have a tailgater? When somebody's passing you on the road, how to respond to that. The defensive driving lab goes into much more detail, finding an out. They don't even know how to stay in the lane when they're in the lab. They're still learning those things. And then we add that much more complexity onto the defensive driving lab.